So there's a video up by Earthling Ed called 4 Strangers Decide Which Animals They Would Eat. Let's check it out. Obviously
Definitely not.
No.
I would not eat, because they're very cute.
We just got a dog.
That's sadly a lot of the time what it boils down to. If someone finds a particular animal cute, then they, want to defend them, protect them, forgetting that you don't have to be cute for your life to be valuable. I hope he doesn't eat other animals. We'll see.
This week, and I love my dog.
I just love my dog too much, and like the whole idea that it's probably like it could be cared for, you could give hugs to it, and you're eating it. 100% not.
He's just really cute.
I hope that you apply that consistently, and obviously you don't need to be able to hug like a dog for them to be valuable. To be fair, if a dog's not friendly enough, even if they're not necessarily dangerous, people will have them put down, so killed, which is something.
And he's got a definite personality.
I love dogs, and I can't stand any cruelty to them.
You can't eat something that you look into the eyes of and you love it.
You can't really eat someone even if you don't love them. Imagine people killing others, right? Human beings, and be like, well, I looked in their eyes, I didn't really feel anything. Oh, chickens.
I would eat one of those, but I am thinking about it a lot more than I used to.
Chicken, I would eat. Love a good Nando's. Mayo chicken from McDonald's too.
Nando's do plant-based options, so don't have to include the animal. They wouldn't eat a dog though.
I'm a vegetarian, and honestly I've always stand up for like animal cruelty. That's always been something I'm like passionate about, and it's not always just about it being eaten, and it's definitely like the way it's been killed and how it's treated while it's being killed. I just don't stand for it.
Actually,
They seem really young, so I'll give them credit. But unfortunately, if you're vegetarian, animals are still, being directly killed as a result of the things you're purchasing, like dairy, eggs. They're filled with cruelty, filled with killing. But obviously, they seem quite young, so you're not really expected to know all of that. There's a lot that the industry does, and a lot of it that it hides, sometimes in plain sight, or tries to sugarcoat. But yeah, unfortunately, if you're against the cruelty, against the killing, then more knowledge will lead you down the path of being vegan.
we went down to Cornwall and stayed with a couple of friends, and we've got rescue cats and chickens from farms. I woke up in the morning and opened the doors, and these 12 chickens that they had came and sort of pecked around the bed and hopped on the bed and followed us around. And, that did make me think a lot more about whether I should be eating them.
It's a shame. I mean, it is the case that people find it more difficult to have compassion for individuals that they haven't actually bonded with, or don't have a connection to, or don't see. And the industry very much disconnects people from the animals who had to suffer as a result of that product being made. So it's understandable, but it is kind of sad that we don't think of it in the way of, regardless of my feelings towards it, what is actually the outcome of the thing that I'm doing. Because if you know that, well, if I did see it, then it would make me sad, or if I did see them, I'd probably feel a certain way about them, then you'd hope that your actions would follow that.
I feel like duck's such a weird animal to eat. Like, it's the sort of thing you see outside on a lake.
Ducks don't feel like food to me.
Similarly with chickens, I
Don't feel like food to you. I think that just shows the conditioning, really. The primary animals people eat in the UK are cows, chickens, pigs. Lambs are probably up there. You have other animals that are used for food less. It kind of shows how things like advertisements, social norms really play a factor in what we think is acceptable and what we think is unacceptable. I mean, if there were enough adverts advertising ducks and their flesh as something to consume, you'd probably see them as an eating animal.
think I would eat duck, but I would think a lot more carefully now, really since my chicken experience last year, about whether I should be eating duck, and indeed if I am eating duck, what the ducks might have gone through to get it on the plate.
When you say chicken, it feels like you can eat chicken, but duck is meant to be a cute animal? I don't know.
I don't know what it is about ducks. Maybe it's the same level as pets, but not quite. Like, you go as a kid to feed ducks.
She wouldn't eat chickens.
And They're kind of cute, aren't they?
They're both quite cute animals. You somewhat have to dissociate your mind from the fact that that's what goes on the plate.
It's sad that people do that. Like, oh, I have to dissociate. I have to no longer, really face what had to happen to these animals in order to be comfortable to consume them. It should kind of tell you about whether or not you should be eating them, you know what I mean?
I would still eat cows.
A cow, I would eat. Beef, really good. I don't have much to say, but cows are good.
I went down to see my...
Cows are even better when they're alive, I think. Just living their lives, being left alone, not being taken to a slaughterhouse, having their babies taken from them, being mutilated, and all that not great shit. They seem to be better when they're alive,
My parents live in the New Forest yesterday, and there were an unbelievably beautiful herd of Chevrolet or something cows. I do think everybody in their life ought to visit a slaughterhouse abattoir to decide mentally whether they can put up with that level of cruelty and whether eating that stuff is worth it. I'm not sure if
base, but yeah, even if you can stomach it, I think the question's more whether or not it's right or wrong, because there's probably some people who really can stomach like gutting a human being, but no, not good. So yeah, I think more has to come into it than that. But definitely, I agree that people should see the victims of their choices and really connect with what's actually happening and move forward with that knowledge.
Followed one of those beautiful cows through the slaughter process, being chopped up to getting back into Sainsbury's or something. Probably if I followed it all the way through, I'd probably give up eating them. I expect, but I never have done. So
I do as well. Probably not
Horse
with
meat
horses.
scandal. No, I wouldn't eat a horse because horses are majestic.
She's just saying no to them all. Is she vegan? I don't know.
A horse? Can you even eat horses? Is that a thing?
Horse.
Yeah, we had a whole horse meat scandal in Tesco and other supermarkets. People were enraged because horses aren't for eating.
I guess would have to go in the would not eat.
I think I would eat a horse. I would put them myself in the same category as cows.
I've always seen horses as the sort of friendship, the sort of pet, not really a food option.
Maybe if horse was something that was popular for people to eat, maybe I would have a different opinion.
Yeah, that's very true. If it were popular, you probably would consume the flesh of animals. It's a social norm. If dogs were regularly consumed throughout tradition, we wouldn't have a problem with eating them. In fact, I could very much easily imagine us, had people started, an industry for dog flesh, having some breeds of dogs who we take home and are supposed to love, and other breeds who are sent to slaughterhouses. I don't think that's so out of the question that that's something that could have happened within a society that deems it acceptable morally to exploit and kill these other species of animals.
But I've never ate it personally, and I don't think I would go for that.
I do know from my few experiences on farms and stuff, cows do have personality and can befriend people. I have a very vivid memory of going on.
Look, you have a very vegan beard. I think you should just go for it. I think you should just do it, because that beard is very vegan. It's giving me vegan vibes, okay? And I'm here for it.
My friend's farm when I was younger, and the daughter taking me out to see the cows, and her favourite cow ran over to her from the herd, and she started tickling it and stuff, and was clearly as attached to that cow as much people do to horses. So I've never actually known myself why there is a distinction between horses and cows.
When you look at a horse, they have a soul. Not that other animals don't have a soul.
I'm gonna put that on would not eat. I've never really thought about eating a deer, to be honest.
Yeah, I would definitely eat deer.
We wouldn't generally eat.
There's an interesting mix here. You have one person who is very much, okay, I'm just not really thinking about it. I'm just kind of eating these animals. These are the animals we eat. These are the animals that aren't so much eaten, so I don't really eat them. I've never really thought about eating them, and I've never really thought about the difference. Then you have one person who seems really, really conflicted, but he would still engage in the eating of them.
Deer here, I don't think. And again, they're just majestic. They're just really cool.
They're cool.
And elegant.
They are.
They're kind of cute, I don't want to eat it. It looks a bit too...
You say they're cute. Look Look at the cow. Cows and deer look so similar. Cows are just like a strong deer. A big boy deer. Ducks are cute, chickens are cute. What do you mean? Have you seen chicks? They're so sweet. But again, their cuteness doesn't mean whether or not they're valuable. It's sad that we see it like that. Oh, I wouldn't do that to them. They're cute. Imagine if we did that with humans. Oh, you're an ugly human, so we can just shoot you. Oh, a lot of us would be in trouble.
Cute.
To me, deer I'd probably eat most comfortably out of all of those because, well, to my knowledge, there aren't any deer factories and deer farms.
I would feel like I was taking something off the earth that like adds something very important to the earth.
Yeah, an animal doesn't have to be in a factory farm for them then being sent off to be killed to be a bad thing. Imagine, oh, killing dogs, bad. But if they're out in the forest, you know, they've got let loose and the person doesn't want them anymore, it's open season, man. It's open season. And I would prefer to eat them, actually, because they're not in a factory farm. If anything, we should be most up for dog eating, in which case, because they spend their days in luxury houses, living it up, not paying rent. They're living the good life. So I guess we're gonna have to make those dog meat burgers.
I'm gonna go for would eat.
You can't say that these animals are cute, that's why you won't eat them. Then put a lamb in the I would eat category. Nah. See what I mean? It's just the conditioning of, okay, these animals are for eating, these aren't. Even though these ones are cute, even though these ones aren't cute, even though... Amazing.
Lamb, I wouldn't eat again.
That's the most debased whiteboard we have so far.
I'm not as emotionally invested about the lamb though, which is weird because it looks like a baby, doesn't it? Maybe because it's more normal.
They are a baby. Lambs. That's what like a lamb is. They're a baby sheep. Killed when they're babies because their flesh is tender. That's why people like calves, or it's called veal, because the flesh is really tender. Puppy flesh would be very tender as well. So does anyone want to open up a puppy meat farm? Okay, you'd be in good business because we'd get that tender flesh. Let's go.
I would also eat that one. We all eat lamb. I'm not sure lamb is from ones that young, but I wouldn't be 100% sure about it. But I would.
Lambs are killed at about 6 to 8 months of age, so they don't look quite that tiny, but yeah, they're still essentially babies. But again, not that them being that tiny should... Just repeating myself, sorry.
But I would consider the life that they've been through a bit before I did so.
Oh, I don't know. I want to say would eat, but the picture just looks so cute.
Exactly. They're all about the cuteness. The value is in the cuteness.
It's like you don't want to eat that.
No.
So a pig, because I don't eat meat, I've seen some of the conditions where they've been kept in, and I don't think it's fair on the animal. I think it's cruel, and like how packed closely they are.
That's a definite I would eat.
They're like the cutest. I'm sorry, that picture is like the cutest one there. Damn. Cuteness truly is subjective, okay? So if you ever feel like you're not cute, okay, you're gonna look like an angel to somebody out there. So never even worry about it, okay? Because if they're saying, nah, definitely would eat, to the piglet picture.
Bacon. Can't live without bacon.
If I were to...
I hear that a lot, and if you can't live without bacon, I used to say this as a kid, but if I literally couldn't live without bacon, that would be very sad. That'd be a sad thing if you couldn't live without a product that you can even have when you're vegan. You just have vegan bacon. There's literally products like this is not bacon in the UK. And when you cook them, it smells like a fry up. It's very strange. But yeah, all vegan. You can still have these products just without the animal included. You definitely can live without it. They can't live if we pay for them to be killed.
To give up meat fully, I think bacon probably would be the most difficult thing to give up.
But why when the options are there? There's a lot of vegan bacon now, and there's going to be so much more vegan bacon on the market.
Pigs have a pretty miserable life. I know they're very intelligent animals, and I know their farmed life is not that great. So, but I would eat them.
Yeah, I know the conditions are terrible. I go through a terrible life, and I'd eat them though.
But I'd think about it these days.
I get we all need to think it through, but let's have a little minute and think while we're thinking about it and still stuffing our face with their corpses. You know, these animals are having their rights violated. We have to do more than think about it at this point. We just have to get into action. If we find something uncomfortable, we know it's a bad thing that happened, it's time to get up and find a way to not involve yourself in that. And you know what? It's been made so easy in the UK. So we have no excuse. This is gonna be a no, isn't it?
If I wasn't vegetarian, I couldn't eat one anyway. They're just too cute.
Rabbits are pets. I know that people have rabbits.
I've literally eaten rabbits. This is what I don't get. Like, when I was a flesh eater, I didn't care. I didn't care. I was just like, oh, food, innit? Food. I mean, I think I've eaten all the animals there, and I'm, yeah, not proud of it. It's just weird how we go, oh, this animal's a pet. This animal is to be stabbed in the throat and then put in a sandwich. This animal is to be hunted. What about them?
Rabbit, don't they? Again, it's not a very normal food to me. But yeah, I'm not emotionally invested in rabbits, I guess. So I don't know why I wouldn't eat them. I just never have. So.
Maybe because you don't have to be emotionally invested in someone to not eat their body.
I just probably wouldn't.
I would eat rabbit. I'm not sure I'd eat that rabbit. That looks like a pet rabbit to me, so you tricked me there a bit. So all right, if he's a pet rabbit, I'll put it on this side.
So if he's a pet rabbit, he can keep his life. If he's not a pet rabbit, he can be killed. Okay.
Wild rabbit, I'll put him on. I think he's a pet rabbit, so I go with no for him. So.
I'll put that on would not eat. I have tried rabbit before, one time. It was really nice, to be fair, but I'm gonna put that on would not eat. I don't know, if I saw that picture when I was eating it, yeah, couldn't eat that. It was too cute.
I have a friend who has bunnies, and like, when you think about a cute bunny, you know, nibbling on food, and then you...
Why do they have to be cute to be worthy of their lives? It's just so grim, isn't it?
Imagine it on a plate is like so weird. I just find it so just different.
So she's vegetarian. Is the other person who doesn't have any in the I would eat, is she vegetarian as well or vegan?
So as you can see, we decided to try something a little different and see what people's reactions would be to being asked to categorize animals according to their perceived edibility. And actually, it was really interesting. So these 4 people who we invited to be filmed were picked at random. And it just so happened that 2 were vegetarian without us even realizing until we started filming. What was very affirming was that the teenage girl had actually gone vegetarian from her own volition.
Yeah, she was more based and on point than everyone there, and she seems to be the youngest one there. Like, Chad behavior. That is a sign of someone who will go into adulthood with a lot of self-awareness, so that's good to see.
When she was a child, even though her family weren't vegetarian. Her comments about not standing for any animal cruelty were...
I mean, vegetarianism isn't based, but she's much younger and she did it by her own accord, so that's pretty based.
As we were very cautious to not say what our own views were, and instead just ask questions that were more about them clarifying their position. So she actually brought up her views on animal cruelty without even knowing anything about us, although we also care about these issues too. When looking at the 2 meat eaters, what was interesting is that they represented 2 differing versions of animal eating. On the one hand, the woman seemed more typical as a meat eater. She categorized the animals in accordance with the cultural norms of the UK, and even made the comment that if eating horse was more popular, she might have a different opinion around her perceived edibility of horses. I guess this shows an almost passive complicity with cultural norms, as opposed to a substantiated rationalization for why she eats this.
Yeah, literally that. But yeah, very interesting. It would be cool if they picked a vegan at random and they're just like, look, I'll stop you here. None of these animals are for eating. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please leave a comment and a like so I know that you liked it, you know, like that. Special shout out to my patrons and channel members. As you may know, I do this full time. I'm vegan full time, okay? Just smashing out the content, and I hope that you're enjoying it. And if you didn't know, I'm now doing book reviews over on my Patreon and for my channel members. So if you're interested in learning about new books and you want to support my content, that is a new feature of the content that you can expect over there. Also, while I'm plugging myself, if you didn't know, I have a second channel called Salads, and that's where I put a lot of my clipped stream content. So if you enjoy the streams and you don't have a chance to catch them, I get some of the notable moments during the streams and I put them on over there. So go over there and subscribe. But thank you so much for watching. I do hope you're well, and until next time, Salads, I will see you soon.